All right. I think we're good. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Yep, I think we're good. All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Tuesday, April 6th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button on your mobile device. If you're new to the Raymond Report, my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 4-time sports handicapping champion here in the sports betting industry. In 2009, I wrote Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, which you can get right here just by sending me an email, or you can get it on Amazon. I'm the founder of the World Series of Handicapping and ATSstats.com. And folks, hopefully you have yourself a good night last night. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Hope you got your cup of Java ready to go and you're ready to attack the day here at the Raymond Report. Now, again, if you are new to the Raymond Report, handicapping, sports handicapping or sports betting, I believe, is based on 3 key fundamentals of handicapping sports, and that is value, the percentage play, and you got to find the right cycles on what to bet on. And hopefully you guys are having success in your endeavors and how you're betting. And right now I see Ms. Denica is in the chat. How you doing, Ms. Denica? Hopefully you're having a good Ruby Tuesday. And hopefully people watching today will come into the roll call and just let us know you're there. Just say hi, do a little roll call right here. And we're live each Monday to Friday right here on the Raymond Report on the YouTube channel. And it's easy to access, obviously. You go to the YouTube channel, search for the Raymond Report, and we are live every weekdays, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to noon right here, right before lunch kicks off. And hopefully we get you some good information so you can go tackle the day. And hopefully we can bring you some winners. All right, let's take a look at how the selections did yesterday at the Raymond Report. And not a bad day, I guess. Had the over in Sacramento, that went under, and I had Dallas. I wasn't really sure about Dallas, but I pulled the old trigger there on the Mavericks, and they got the win. I had the Blue Jays, the Marlins, and Tampa Bay yesterday in baseball. The Blue Jays worked out. And then in hockey, I went with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Those were my top plays yesterday in the NHL. Hockey's been really good. I've been having a really good run in hockey, and I can see the Ramblers and Gamblers are slowly crawling in here. There's G&G. There's Plant-Based Junkie. There's Sniper. How you doing, Sniper? That's right, Plant-Based. It is a Ruby Tuesday, and let's go find some rubies today in the sports betting industry. G&G went 3-1 yesterday. I put in the boat out in the water, so I want to wish you all a good luck today. Yeah, the weather's getting nicer here on the upper 49th parallel in Canada, so hopefully we could enjoy some good warm weather, maybe some golfing weather pretty soon, right? All right, so let's go to the horse racing today, and our free tip sheet of the day is going to come from, I believe it's Louisiana Downs. That's right, in Louisiana. We're going to go to race number 1 today at Louisiana Downs. It's a 2 p.m. post time, so if you like to bet on the ponies, here's a free tip sheet for you here today, and it's free to access. All you got to do is go to ATSstats.com, go to horses, go to free tip sheet, and from there you can print out the entire tip sheet. We are giving away Louisiana Downs for free, and let's kick it off with race number 1, a $5,800 maiden claiming race, 2 p.m. post time. It's a sprint, 300 yards on the dirt. We're going to go 2-5-7 in race number 1 today at Louisiana Downs. JR's Cuz I Run Away. Alvarez taking the ride on the number 2 horse. Canelo Bulk taking the place here. The number 5 taking second place here. 8-1 morning line on Canelo Bulk. Rodriguez taking the ride here on the 5. And we're going to close that trifecta ticket. Man, these names today at Louisiana Downs are not easy to say. AJ's Taylor's Cartel. Rodriguez taking a ride here on the number 7 horse, and we got him to show today at Louisiana Downs. 2-5-7s is your recommendations today at Louisiana Downs, race number 1. And your long shot in race number 1, your Joker's Wild, is the number 6 horse, LD Cajun Bremerton. Luna taking a ride here on the 6-1 morning line on LD Cajun Bremerton. All right, now, if you're going to play any of these selections today, I recommend 2-5, 5-7, 7-6 exacta box. Always box those selections. And if you're going to play a trifecta, 257, 657, trifecta box. And if you're going to play the Joker's Wild at 6-1 morning line, I'd recommend you bet, say if you got a $20 budget, bet the number 6 horse, 10 to win, 10 to place. This way he comes in second. You get some of that money back. All right, here we go. Mark Nation says, and we're off. Good day, all. Good day, Mark. How you doing? And actually, I think Mark had a pretty good day at bullpenpicks.com yesterday. In fact, let me bring up bullpenpicks.com, and I'm just going to take this over here. Go to bullpen and slide this over here and do that. And bullpen picks. So if you want to see who to follow now, if you are new to bullpen picks, until we get 100 games in the system or 100 picks in the system, the top scorer page won't generate yet. Top pickers, this is going to be a tough one. I was talking to Underdog Sniper yesterday, and I think getting a gold glove is going to be very monumental here this year. Anybody who gets a gold glove, man, we might have to do something special for them. Top pickers, most followed. Now, here's where you can see who to follow so far, and we put down their records yesterday. I went 8-5 yesterday at bullpen. Chad went 6-7. Terminator went 8-5. In fact, we had a couple of people had 9 wins, not 8 wins here for Mark Nation. So you can see Mark in the chat. Mark went 8-2 yesterday, and MLB game picks went 9-4. And in fact, the only person to beat was Warren Sarita here yesterday, 10-3. So what you want to do, people are hot. You want to follow their selection, so you click on follow my picks, and then once you get to your dashboard, go to following, and you can see the players that you are following, and you can compare your picks. My selections are now up at bullpenpicks.com, and you can go see them right now. And hopefully we could help you out there today. Got to see why this is doing that. Young sites, so we're still ironing out the bugs. But yeah, check it out. Early voting is in, and this is where you get a good lean on today's selections. All right, so what we're going to do, let's go to the SBI. We're going to really cut to the chase here with 3 full cards of NBA, NHL, and MLB. I thought, less babbling, more less babbling, more production here. Let's go. Hey, time to get on the. We're on deck right now. We're waiting to get in the batter's box here. But we're going to kick it off with NHL. But before we do, we're going to go to the SBI. There's Eddie. Good morning, Eddie. How you doing, Rashad? I see Rui from Lisbon is in. Let's go. Let's go get that paycheck today. NBA yesterday. You know what? Yesterday, 4-3 for the favorites yesterday, 5-2 the day before, and 1-6. So if you had the underdogs yesterday on the point spread, you went 6-1 yesterday. Now looking at the 7-day average and what we do here in the SBI, we look at this like the stock market, and on the 7-day average, favorites only cashing 52.3 of the tickets and 69.1 though on the favorites. So I have a great money line system for you guys today in the NBA, and I'm going to share that with you very shortly. Now the over-unders, we are now in a bear market for overs. 38.4% of the overs have come in the NBA. So 61.6 of the unders. Look at that. 4-3 yesterday, but you can see here on the week, we're having a good run here on the unders. Let's take a look at the NHL, see how we did last night in the National Hockey League. And yeah, Psychedelic Exploration says he's always looking for winners. So, hey, join the club. We're all looking for winners. 5-2 yesterday, the NHL. You know what? The favorites in the NHL this year absolutely killing it right now. 10-3 the last 2 days betting favorites. But having said that, we've got to watch out, right? But if you're betting underdogs in the over-unders in the NHL, 57.7% of the unders have come in and 66.7% of the favorites. So having a great run with the favorites. In fact, COVID since last year, favorites have just been absolutely on fire. I don't know why. I don't know if it's home teams or the favorites or teams are stacking. I don't know. It's just I find favorites are really coming in at a high clip. Let's take a look. Oh, the wrong one there. Let's go back here. Let's go to the SBI. Let's go to Major League Baseball. And let's go click the wrong button right there. And let's go to Major League Baseball. Let's see what came in yesterday. In fact, 9-4 for the favorites yesterday. 9-4. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay wasn't part of that favorite club. Tampa Bay just got the old woodshed game, right? Hey, the Boston Red Sox took out the Tampa Bay Rays behind the woodshed yesterday. 5-8 to the unders. So if you look at the, let me see here, the 7-day average, or no, there's no 7 days because we haven't played a week yet. 3-day average, 48%. See, remember I said yesterday it'll be just a matter of time before the favorites. Maybe yesterday was the tipping point where the favorites are coming in. But 59.3% of the games have gone under the last 3 days betting Major League Baseball. All right, quick look at the NBA market and see the Bears and the Bulls to see what is, and we do this each and every day, right? I think it's very important to find out what has come in the day before, what's coming in on the 3-7 day average, so this way there's no surprise. I don't like surprises. I don't like surprises, finding out, why didn't I know that? You always got to have your finger on the pulse of the industry. You wouldn't go in buying stocks blindly, right? And that's the same thing. You wouldn't be buying stocks on a bull run market, right? When everything's up like 300, 400 points, that's not a good day to start going to buy things. And the same thing in sports betting, right? One thing I'm starting to I'm trying to analyze the stock market and try to incorporate it into sports betting. And the old saying in the stock market, you buy low and you sell high. But how do you do that in the sports betting? I think losing streaks is where you buy low and you sell high is you don't bet on those teams when they're on a high game winning streak, right? Just something to think about, something to chew on right there. Dallas Mavericks, big win. So Dallas still bullish now. They are 5-2 in their last 7 games. And San Antonio, now in the Bear Club, 2-5 in their last 7, and a lot of teams in the neutral club. Brooklyn, you know what? I think Brooklyn, New York Knicks played well last night, but I think Brooklyn was focused. And the game before they lost to Chicago, I think they were looking ahead to this Battle of New York, and they got caught on a letdown spot on Sunday. I think it was Sunday, right, against the Chicago Bulls. Unfortunately, if you took Brooklyn that day, you got taken beyond the woodshed. All right, let's take a look at the NHL real quickly. Let's see who's in the NHL club. There's Eddie Armstrong. Yo, Eddie. I like Miami Heat and under, says Slumlord. I like the Yankees money line in game total. Wow, that's a lot of chalk there, Slumlord. Hey, that's a lot of chalk to be laying. What's 3-something today with Garrett Cole? All right, NHL, where are you? Still waiting for the NHL to come up, but in the meantime, so we're going to start off with NHL today, guys, and then we're going to go NBA and then Major League Baseball. And in this way, I always feel the NHL is getting the short end of the stick sometimes. But we're going to start off with NHL, then go right into the NBA, and hopefully we could, it's risky, Ron. Yeah, it is risky. It is very risky. All right, let's kick it off with the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the New York Rangers. And before we do that, let's take a look now that the page is loaded up here on the NHL. And let me see the confidence level. Let me see how many teams are in the bullish club in the National Hockey League. And Nashville's still on a good run. Arizona 6-1 now. Arizona's getting a little desperate, I find. They're 19-20. They want to make the playoffs. I'll have to check the standings to see if they're in right now. But Arizona, this is a team right now 6-1 in their last 7. Toronto looking good. Winnipeg looking good. San Jose now bullish 5-2. So those are your teams that are out of the ordinary, right? I'm looking for B and C type teams into the Bull Club because A type teams, I expect these guys to be there. But value, Nashville, Arizona, and San Jose are the teams that have good value and nothing in the Bear Club to report. But let's go to the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the New York Rangers. Now, looking at the starting goaltenders today for the Penguins, looks like Tristan Jarry against Igor Shesterkin. Now, Jerry is expected. Tristan Jarry and Shesterkin, man, you don't want to say that 10 times. He is looks like he's going to go. He's confirmed. This line here, minus 120 on the Rangers, and then plus 100 on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't know. I think this is a bit of a trap line, and, maybe the bookmakers know something that we don't know. I thought at best, I thought this would be a pick'em. I thought this would be a pick'em unless the bookmakers figured, you know what, let's get action. If the bookmakers made the New York Rangers a 120 favorite, what do they know by doing that? If they would have put Pittsburgh at minus 120, how's your mindset? Are is everybody loading up on the Pittsburgh Penguins? Or is this a 120 on the Rangers making you think twice, right? I'm not going to touch this game. I think this is a trap game, but if I was going to lean to this game, both teams are 6-4 in the last 10. And looking at Pittsburgh on the road against team below 500, they're 5-3. And in the last 10 meetings in Madison Square Garden, the Penguins are 6-4. And the Rangers are only 3-7 against the Penguins in the last 10 overall. I don't know. I think this is a trap play. I'm not going to touch it, but if I did play it, I would lean with the Pittsburgh Penguins. The game of the night, used to be in Long Island, but now it's I don't know where they're playing right now. The New York Islanders. I know they're getting a new rink built, but think long, think wrong. Hey, that's a good one there, Mark. All right, and folks, if you are new to the Rain Report, in the bullpen, we got people chatting each and every day. So if you're looking for the first time, and sometimes what happens is once the shows are done, it gets archived on Facebook, and on Facebook, you'll see me turn to my left a lot, and I'm looking at the chat. But if people are watching on the instant replay, they're like, "What's he looking at?" There's nothing in the chat. So I don't know why people always ask me, how come we can't see the chat on the replay? That's a Facebook thing. I have no clue. But back to this one here between the Islanders and the Washington Capitals. Semyon Varlamov going against Ilya Samsonov. So a battle of countrymen here tonight. A couple of Russian goalies going at it. And that'll be, I always love, in baseball, anytime you get like pitchers from Latin America going, Venezuela, Dominican, head to head. I wrote it. It's one of my tips in my book. You don't think that that game's important. Like, say if two Dominican Republic pitchers are pitching that day, you don't think that's going to make the local news in Dominican Republic and everybody's going to know about that? Those two pitchers are want to outduel each other. That's a great play to play the under, right? And I wonder if that's the same situation in goaltending, using that analogy in hockey, where you got two goalies from the same country going at it. Who knows? They probably played on the same junior team. And maybe a shutout here or a Nunders tonight. So you got two goalies going at it. And minus 125 for the Islanders. Now, the Islanders are 15-3 at home. And if you look at their last 10, they're only 6-4. Washington on a pretty good run the last 15 games. Washington's one of the hottest teams right now, 12-3 in their last 15 games. But who they played, right? They played the Devils, the Islanders. It was an 8-4 loss to the Islanders. The Rangers, the Devils. So keep an eye out on Washington played. Washington has had a soft schedule. Look at this. Their strength of schedule in their last 7 games, 42.8. And the New York Islanders at home against team that are A-type teams like the Washington Capitals, 4-0 straight up. I'm going with the Islanders here tonight. I think the Islanders are the play, minus 125. You're getting good value. I had them listed at minus 140 on the value index. And looking at the value, the percentage play does favor the lower high. This is good. Remember the 1% club? We've been tracking this. Anytime you get a team that's 1% higher than the next one in hockey on the money line straight up, it works in your favor. So I'm going to go with the New York Islanders here tonight, guys. And that's going to be one of my plays. And I do have a system play on the Washington Capitals. Now, play devil's advocate a bit here. If you go to NHL and you go to the pull-down menu, I got a nice system here on the Washington Capitals. If you scroll down to the bottom, look at this. NHL road teams that are underdogs. So road dogs in NHL the last 2 years versus division opponent before a non-division game, coming off a road win as a favorite, 12-6, but 16-2 on the puck line. So whatever the puck line is, I'd have to check with Bookmaker. Let me check real quickly with Bookmaker, see what the puck line is at. Maybe the puck line on Washington tonight might be a nice value play there. That's a great system on the puck line right there. And just taking a quick peek here at the line between the Islanders and the Capitals. Puck line, yeah, minus 217. So you're laying a bit of juice here, but it's a great puck line here on the Washington Capitals on a nice system. All right, let's go to the next game here in the Rain Report today. Buffalo taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, two C-type teams. I'm almost tended to just skip these seed games, right? To me, ever since I stopped betting on bad teams, I tell you, it's just amazing how your bankroll, it's called adjusting on the fly, right? We talked about it last week. When you bet on bad teams and expect them to do good things, you're just, it's just definition of insanity, right? Doing things over and over again. I think this is, if you followed that advice and you stop betting on C-type teams, let me know if your bankroll has increased, right? I'll tell you one thing, mine has. Ever since I just have been more selective and just betting on less games and picking my spots, my bankroll is just, it's gone north. So that's good. Minus 152 here for the Devils. Looks like the starting goalies tonight for the Devils is going to be Mackenzie Blackwood against Linus Ullmark. Now, Buffalo's a mess, right? We all know that. Hey, Ray Plant Base, where's Plant Base? He knows they're a mess. He's a Buffalo guy. He's a Bills Mafia. Now the Bills, on the other hand, that's a different story. The Bills are the talk of the town right now in Buffalo, and it's not the chicken wings, right? It's the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are looking great. C on C crime, exactly. C on C crime. I don't touch C on C crime. But if you're going to play this one here tonight, guys, I think New Jersey is the play. But again, look at this. Even New Jersey can't even beat the Beatables at home. Anytime they face a C-type team, so a C-type team in the Raymond report is a team that's below 500. They're 1-4 straight up. Maybe the under. You know, the one thing with the goat, but Allmark's been Swiss cheese. You know what? Pass. You know, it's like putting makeup on a pig. You're trying to make it look good, and it just doesn't work, right? Next. All right, let's take a look at Carolina and Florida. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one here tonight, guys. Florida, there's a couple of good games I'm going to watch. This is one game. Now Barkov is back. Barkov. Alexander Barkov. You know what? Probably one of the best players right now in the NHL. Alexander Barkov. I know he got injured. 14 goals, 26 assists, and having a great season now. He had, 17 minutes of ice time last game. And let me check his stats here. 17 minutes. And he's normally logging 20-some minutes. So they pulled back on his ice time because he's normally averaging 22, 21 minutes. So they're taking about 5. So he's probably not double shifting on the fourth line. That's sometimes what good coaches will do, right? They'll pull somebody off the fourth line and they'll take a guy on the first line like Barkov and put him on the fourth line to get him some extra or on the power play, right? Looking at the line here, minus 147. Now, if you do like the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, Mrazek looked absolutely fantastic the other night. He's back, but don't see the start. Like, you know, I'm seeing Bobrovsky is expected in Reimer, but I'm expecting Mrazek to be back between the pipes. And looking at Carolina here, 6-2 at home against A-type teams. Carolina's, I'm telling you now, you don't want to face this team in the playoffs. This is going to be a team, and it starts with the head coach. You know, you always look at a team, what kind of character that team is. And when you look at Rod Brindamore, you know, gritty player, played tough, you know, and that's what Carolina is, right? And if they get good goaltending, that futures ticket's looking pretty good. 8-2 in their last 10 against Florida. But if you look at the Carolina Hurricanes' last 5 games, all 1-goal games. 1-0 against Dallas, 3-2 against Dallas. So, you know, some of them were wins and losses, right? But the 1-goal games is what worries me. In their last 10 games, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1-goal games. That concerns me. That tells me they're just playing, you know, that's like playoff hockey right there. Just playing enough to get to overtime, right? So that concerns me. Where you look at Florida, 3-0, 5-2. So how many 1-goal games has Florida been involved in? 1, 2, 3. 3 of them in their last 7, right? In the last 10. So looking at this game here tonight, you got Barkov that's back. I'm going to take a flyer here and take a bit of a risky value play, and I'm going to play the Florida Panthers here. I do like Florida. Bobrovsky and Nets, and probably, again, you're going to get Reimer. I do like the Florida Panthers here tonight against Carolina. Boston, Philadelphia. Man, Pat, this is why you don't put forwards as defensemen, right? Did you watch that game last night? I feel bad for you. You know what? All kidding aside, I played a lot of beer league hockey. I know maybe you can't see this, but maybe you see right there. I broke my wrist. See there. See the stitches right in there. Let me see here. And I'm making a point here. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, right there. You see, I broke my wrist playing hockey, beer league. You know, in Ottawa about 7 years ago, and exactly like Bergeron did yesterday, when trying to skate backwards and flip over, and I did the same exact thing that he did, and then I fell on my wrist, and it had in the hospital 3 days for surgery. It was the worst feeling. Anybody who's broken their wrist and needed surgery, I'll tell you, it's not fun. And looking at Bergeron last night, that was awful. I felt so bad for Bergeron. He gave up the winning goal, and no, I can't even get my watch on here. All right, here we go. So tough thing last night for Bergeron, trying to really play some defense, and that's why forwards don't play defense, right? Yeah, it was very painful. Very painful. I remember sometimes when I run into the guys, they keep saying they can't get that yell out of their heads when they heard me yell. Okay? It was just one of those things, those freak accidents. But hey, show goes on. Boston now taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Minus 132 here tonight against the Flyers. Now, was this game in Boston last night or was it in Philly? No, it was at Boston, so it's a home and away type series for the Bruins going into Philly. And when they go into Philly, they're 5-5 in their last 10. And looking at the Flyers are a mess. You can't trust Flyers. I think Boston is the play here. Sounds, it was scary. All right, how you doing, Isaiah? I didn't say hi to you this morning. I saw Isaiah pop in there. And Tampa Bay, Columbus. Man, is it just me or is it Tampa Bay, Columbus? That's all I see these days. Let me see here. Tampa Bay Red Wings, Columbus. Okay, they only played twice. For some reason, I think every time I watch a Tampa Bay game, they're playing Columbus. All right, minus 227. Yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here. 7-3 against C-type teams on the road, and they're coming off a 5-1 loss, embarrassing loss. But I'm not going to lay that kind of money on the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay tonight. Maybe you want to parlay them with, the Islanders, right? The two-team parlay, Tampa Bay Islanders or Tampa Bay New Jersey. Maybe that's something you want to consider. All right, let's take a look at the next game here. Nashville, Detroit. I don't think anybody wants to play Nashville. Or, you know what? I don't even think it's Nashville. I don't think anybody wants to face Yuri Saros right now. Saros has just been lights out. And who's the expected goalie tonight? Looks like it's going to be Yuri Saros. 2.27 goals against average, coming off a shutout in his last game against the Chicago Blackhawks, 3-0. And looking at the Nashville, their road record on the year, 9-11. And for Detroit, same thing, 9-11. Detroit's a mess on the road, 4-16. And, looking at Nashville on the road against teams that are below 500, 6-2 straight up. Looking at the value index, a bit overvalued here on the Predators. And I'm going to play Nashville here tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to lay that kind of juice. The other game of the night that I think is going to be a great game is Dallas-Chicago. Even though Chicago's not having a winning year, they're a fun team to watch. 17-22 on the year. Dallas, 13-23. But you look at Dallas in the last 10 games, 4-6. Didn't have a good start. Same thing with Chicago. They're 3-7, so it's the Misery Loves Company Bowl tonight. And I think this is going to be a really good game. I think Dallas still is the better team. And let me see the starting goalies for the Dallas Stars. It looks like it's going to be Odinger against Lankinen. Lankinen's been a great start. Then he got cold for a while. But, you can't fault Lankinen. I don't think he's at fault here. I just think Chicago doesn't have secondary scoring. After DeBrincat and Kane, who's the next man up, right? Dylan Strome shows up every third, fourth game. But the Chicago Blackhawks need more depth on their forward, the second, third line, right? But they've played well against Dallas in their last 10. They're 6-4, and the last time these two teams met was March 11th, and it was a 4-2 win for the Chicago Blackhawks in Dallas. So maybe a revenge spot tonight for Dallas. All right, and the last game of the day, we're gonna play a game between Anaheim and the San Jose Sharks. And looking at the Shark Tank here tonight, minus 175 is the price tag. The over-under at 5.5. We got San Jose winning 3.25, 2.44. The over-under at 5.69. So it does like it to go over the total. And let me talk. I had some systems here. I thought I had some system play. I do got a couple of system play. I'll get to that in a second. I got a nice system play on the Philadelphia Flyers and our system we've been tracking, right? But this game here, I'm going to go Sharks. I don't think. But look at this right here. If you like Anaheim on the puck line, they're 8-0 against teams below 500 on the puck line. So if you want to do a puck line parlay with Tampa Bay, Anaheim, and New Jersey, that could be a nice three-team parlay for you there if you like parlays. Parlays to me, I'll bet them every blue moon just for fun. But it's something I don't do on occasion. Every day, I mean. All right, DeBrincat is a lot of fun to watch. I like DeBrincat. All right, the system plays today. Now, the system in the NHL is you want to play on the favorites coming off a one-goal loss, and that is the system today is the Rangers, New Jersey, Boston, and Dallas. So Rangers, New Jersey, Boston, and Dallas are your system plays, and I got a nice system here on Philly And I know this is a devil's advocate against the Boston play, but maybe it's the, let me see here, Philadelphia. So here's it's on the under. So we got a system play on the under in this game. NHL home dogs totals 5.5 before division game, coming off a 4-game road stand and scored 3 or more goals, 4 in the last game, 13-3 to the under. But Philly's goaltending, there's no way on earth I'm betting the under in Philly games. You know, the Philly games, there's no way I'm betting unders in that game. All right, any questions before we go to NBA? I'm going to hit the NBA now, and we got some good games. In fact, I got a great system play on the game between Philly and Boston. I know Plant-Based will probably like that, or not Plant-Based, Plays and Parlays. Where's Plays and Parlays? Has he poked in today yet, Plays and Parlays? Let me see here. Plant-Based is in the house. I don't know if Plays and Parlays is poked in yet, but I know. All right, so I got a nice system here. All right, let's go to the NBA. Let's go Chicago against the Pacers. All right, I'm just going to bring up the injury report. I always liked, betting NBA. I'll be honest. I haven't been betting a lot of NBA lately, and that's because of a lot of teams right now. The lineups are just absolutely inconsistent, right? Like James Harden comes in, comes out. To me, the NBA lineups right now are too hard. If you're going to bet NBA, I think there's more value in money line because you just don't know who's going to be in the starting lineup. Guys don't, declare to the, 5 minutes before tip off, right? So I think betting NBA is very high risk right now. So be careful if you are betting on the NBA. I just think it's really tough right now to get who's going to be in the lineup, right? Now, Chicago Bulls, a 1-point road favorite tonight against the Pacers. ATS forecast, the over-under is at 226. Forecast going to lean with the Chicago here, 113.9 to 110. The over-under at 224.78. Now, how's Chicago going to respond after a big win over one of the best teams in the league, right? So they took care of the Brooklyn Nets here, 115 to 107, and they're 2-8 straight up in Indiana. Pacers 9-1 overall, 6-4 against the number. But when you look at this game, let's take a look at the starting lineup for Chicago. Kobe White's still out. Must be a serious neck injury. He came back one game, but then he sat out again. So he came back for the Utah game, but he sat out the Brooklyn game. So no Kobe White here tonight. And when you look at this game between the Pacers, Brogdon game time decision. And so everybody looks like they're a goal for Indiana. And let me take a look here at how the computer pick is doing in the last 100 for the NBA. Again, I think if you're betting NBA right now, I find there's more value on money line. I know it's, some people are like, I don't want to lay that much. If you're going to lay that much in baseball and hockey, why wouldn't you do it for the NBA, right? And this way you don't have to sweat out the point spread. And I just think it's a good way to make an adjustment, right? NBA 64%. So if you're betting the computer picks, 64%. That's pretty solid. Now, the only thing I'm gonna say on the computer picks is C on C crime, right? I don't trust C on C type teams, so be careful. That's the only thing I'm gonna warn you guys is be careful about that. I'm still beating. Yeah, the NHL is where my bread's butter right now. I'm making more money in NHL right now. That it's been awesome. All right, let me see here. Pacers. So if you do like this game here tonight, guys. The only thing that concerns me is Chicago off a big win over Brooklyn, and can they follow that up, right? Like, let me check out the here. I'm gonna go to my database, and then just for funds and giggles. So I'm going to see. I want to see how. So let's go to Super Database, and let's do this. Let's go NBA. Let's go NBA road underdogs. All right, road underdogs. Coming off a home win as an underdog. Coming off a home win as an underdog. Home underdog win. And let's see what the record is this season. Current season. 15-22, 20-16. All right, let me tighten it up a bit here. Let me do away underdogs of Pick'em to +3. Actually, you know what? -3 or less underdogs. 3 and 9. So yeah, look at this. 2, 9, and 1 to the under. So maybe the under is where you want to go. So NBA underdogs of Pick'em to +3 or less underdogs coming off a home win as an underdog this season. 2, 9, and 1 to the under. So that's pretty solid. That is pretty solid to play that. And see, okay, let me see. The Brinket, me neither. Does the computer factor in player absence? Yeah, it does, Eddie, because the computer doesn't factor, the line will, right? So that's a great question. I get that a lot. So the question is this, in case you can't see it on the replay. Does the computer factor in player absence on the score? Yes, it does, because if there's Zach LaVine is out of the lineup, that line's going to change, and that means all the factors will change. So to your questions, yes. Do I have to pay to use these tools? Yeah, you got to be a member of ATS Stats. It's 27 cents a day, or $24.99 a month, or $99 for the year. But yeah, no, the under. Now that's a pretty good stat on the under here today. So I think the under might be worth a look here tonight, guys. The under, and if I'm looking, but a lot of overs today. A lot of games have gone over for the Pacers, but that's a pretty solid stat. And Chicago's last 10 trips in Indiana, 70% of the games have gone under. So I think the under is probably a good lean. New Orleans taking on Atlanta. Now I want to see if Lonzo Ball. Now Lonzo Ball, you remember that last game? He tweaked something on, I don't know if it was his ankle or calf. And I'm making his return. I got a feeling he might be injured tonight. We'll see. But hopefully he's playing. It doesn't say anything right now, but he didn't play the rest of that game against the Houston Rockets, right, on Sunday. So keep an eye out on that. And looking at the line here tonight, -3 for Atlanta. Over-runners at 228. Forecast, going to lean with the Hawks here, 116 to 111. The over-under at 227.24. Looking at the last 10 games, 6-4 straight up for the Hawks, 5-5 for the Pelicans. Now, where's the value line? I had the Hawks at -2.1, and you're laying 3, so fair market value. And you're getting a good value on the Pelicans. The percentage play does favor Atlanta to win straight up, but the Pelicans to cover at 61%. And Atlanta on a 3-game win streak. They're 9-2 against teams below 500. Pelicans 22-27 on the year, 8-14 on the road. And for Atlanta, they are 12-9 at home. And in their last 10 games against the Pelicans, 8-2 straight up and against the number. And we got them winning straight up on the money line. So, man, you know what? Atlanta might look like a nice play here tonight. Like Hawks at home playing with a new coach. Yeah, I do like Atlanta here tonight. I think Atlanta is a nice play. All right, the game of the night, Philly against Boston. This is going to be a good game. I got a great system. I'm going to show you guys this in a second. In fact, if I go to, let me go to ATS Stats. And I do have well, let me just go through the rundown first. So Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers. Now this line opened up at 1. It's now -2 for the Sixers. The over-under at 221. Forecast calling for a Phillies victory, 114 to 109. The over-under at 226.6. Looking at the starting lineups here today. I'm not seeing. So Fournier is out. He just got there and he's already out. COVID-19. Okay, that's why he's out. So no Fournier tonight. But you know what? They played all year without him in Boston, right? He just acquired lately from the trade. But Embiid should be back here tonight. In fact, he should be back tonight. And looking at the matchup here on this game, 6-4 straight up for Philly in their last 10, but only 3-7 to the under. And Boston 5-5. Now the value index, I had the Sixers at -4.9. You're laying 2. And looking at Philly on the road against B-type teams, 5-3, 4-3-1 against the number. And the last 10 trips to the Gardens, they are, let me see here, 2-8. They're only 2-8 at the Gardens, straight up and against the number. So for whatever reason, Philadelphia does not play well in Boston. But I got some system pointing towards the Sixers tonight. Let me go to a free NBA picks. Let me go to Philly. And let's take a look here on the system down here. Actually, it's on Boston under. So it's on Boston. It's a play against the Celtics. NBA Any NBA pick 'em to +3 home underdog. So Boston's a +2. So a NBA pick 'em to +3 home underdogs the last 3 years after a conference game versus a conference opponent, coming off 2 ATS wins, 3-13 straight up, 3-14 against the spread, and look at the under, 3-14. So that's a play against Boston. And I got a great stat. I'm going to show you this stat on the money line. NBA. So we're going to go to NBA. Road favorites, so away favorites. Coming off 2 ATS losses. So Philadelphia's coming off 2 ATS losses. So we'll take a look at those losses in a second. And the last 5 years. So let's go back the last 5 years. And they scored 100 or less points for in the last game. So let me bring up that here. Scored 100 or less points in the last game. Where is it? All right, here it is. Scored 100 or less points for in the last game. So let's take a look at the Sixers. So Sixers coming off 2 ATS losses. They scored 100 points in their last game. It was a 116-100 win. The last 5 years. So let me see, make sure I got this right. So away favorite, Philadelphia, 2 ATS losses, scored 100 or less points for in the last game. Check out their record. 63-24 straight up for 72%. So, we had a good system against the Boston Celtics here with the under. And what's the under here? 46-41 to the over. So I do like, if you're going to play a money line tonight, and if you look at the money line right now, -2, why wouldn't you play the money line tonight on the Sixers, right? And they're fighting for that top spot. -128. That's a great play. That is a great play on the Sixers. And, so I'm going to play that one for sure. Boston -128. That's a great money line play right there on the Sixers. And that's your system play of the day, courtesy of ATSstats.com. All right. You guys awake out there or what? Hey, am I putting you guys to sleep or what here? Hey, there's so much, too much information there. Hey, what's that expression there? Analysis by paralysis or paralysis by analysis, something like that. Hey, am I putting you guys to sleep with all these boring stats? Looking at the Lakers taking on the Toronto Raptors. Now, looking at the lineup here, obviously, Drummond a game time decision. No Davis, no James. Man, yeah, it's not the same type. It's not the same type of team without those guys, right? Class is in, says Lance LaRose. All right, class is in. All right, rolling along here. Raptors, 1-point favorite against the Lakers. 209 is the over/under. ATS forecast, going to lean with the Lakers here. 109 to 105, the over/under at 214.96. Toronto still, they're not the same team. 3-7. They've been playing out of a different building now. They struggled their last game against Washington. Nice come from behind win though. A nice come from behind win last night against the Wizards, but it was the Wizards, right? And looking at the Lakers here tonight, they're coming off a big loss against the Clippers, 104-86. And if you look at the Lakers last, let's say the last 5 games, 3-2, but they're not scoring a lot of points, a lot of 90s. Look at that, 96 points for, 97, 86. Maybe the under is where you want to lean here tonight. The under, and when Toronto Lakers are on the road against a team below 500, 8-2 to the under. So I think the under is where you might want to lean here today. The under tonight between the, what's the total? 214 at 209 here. And what's the Kogo? 77%. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, C-type teams. If I'm going to play this, I'll play the under. Let's go to Memphis against Miami. This is probably going to be the game of the night. So looking at the lineups here, everybody looks like they're a go. And looking at both teams in this game, you got Miami on the season, 26-24 now, 2 wins above 500. Memphis floating with 500 record, 24-23. They're 12-9 on the road, 13-8 against the point spread. And for Miami, 14-12 at home, 10-15-1 against the number. And in their last 10 head-to-head meetings against the Grizzlies, 6-4 straight up, and against the point spread, 6-4 to the over. And when Memphis travels to Miami, the over is 8-2 in their last 10 games. But taking a look at the records here for both these teams, B-type team against a B-type team. and 2-2 at home against B-type teams, and 4-2. Now Memphis coming off a big win over the Sixers in the last game, and let me see how Memphis does coming off a win. 8-3 against the point spread, coming off a win when they're on the road. So nice number right there, 8-3. But again, it's betting NBA right now is really tough. It just you don't know at the last minute who's going to be in the lineup. So, but if you're going to play this one here tonight, I think the computer's calling an upset, 109-107. I think Memphis +4 is probably a good value. Speaking of value, let me take a look at the value. -1, yeah, you're getting good value tonight. Percentage play does favor the lower high goes to the Heat, but I think you want to play on the Grizzlies here. I like the Heat at home, says Mark Nation. So we got a Sixers system play. Yeah, Sixers on the money line is a strong play. Miami's getting more and more consistent, says Fatty. Yeah, you know what? Miami, keep in mind, still a team that went to the NBA Finals last year, and they still got a good core of those players there. It's just, I think the bubble, it's like, look at the two teams in the final last year, right? Miami and the Lakers. Look where they are now. They're tired. These two teams are tired, and that's why you're getting an inconsistent play with the both these teams. Look at the Heat, 4-6 in their last 10. So they're very inconsistent, and as a home favorite this year, 12-8, and as a road favorite for Memphis, 5-2. So I think Memphis is there. I think Memphis is the play here tonight. Detroit taking on Denver. Let's take a look at Detroit taking on the Denver Nuggets. Now, 13-point home favorite. Over under at, let me see here, 215. Thought I had some other system plays here for you guys. No, that's about it. 115 and 102. The over under at 217.74. 8-2 in their last 10. 4-6 for the Pistons. Pistons coming off a 132-108 win over OKC. And Denver 119 and 109. Took care of business. I think they 9.5 that game. I think they won as a 9.5 point. No, 16.5. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was 9.5. Denver on a 5-game win streak. And Denver at home against teams below 500. 7-3 straight up, but only 3-7 against the number. And, Pistons on the road against A-type teams, 0-4 straight up. So they haven't won a game straight up. C-type team. I'm not going to touch this one. Too many points. Yeah, I'm just not going to touch that game. Clippers taking on the Portland Trailblazers. This is going to be a great game. This is going to be a good game between Lillard and the Claw, right? So you got, let me see the starting lineup here. And now that CJ McCollum's back, you got a different, and Norman Powell. Portland looking like a nice team right now. But, you need Beverly. Beverly's a game time decision. In fact, if you look at, he's still a game time decision. Hasn't played in a while. Ibaka's out. LA just, slowly getting some of their starters back. But looking at this game here tonight at the Staples Center, 5-point home favorite for the Clippers. The over-under at 229. Forecast going to lean with the Clippers here, 115 to 108. Over-under at 224.47. Both teams are 7-3 in their last 10. 7-3 against the point spread for the Clippers. 6-4 for the Portland Trailblazers. Now the value index, I had the Clippers at -6.35, and you're getting 5. So you're getting good value on the Clippers. You're also getting good value on the Trailblazers. Adam at almost -1, and you're getting +5. The chance of winning, 72% compared to 26 straight up, and 54% against the point spread. Now, Clippers coming off a win against the Lakers, and after facing the Lakers since 96, they are 54 and 58-2. Let me see. You know what? I want to see something here. I want to see the LA Clippers. Let's do LA Clippers. That's a big. So they're a home favorite. Or let me just do. I'll tighten it up after. After facing the Lakers, I want to see after facing LA. Where is the Lakers? Say the last 2 years. Let's see what that record's like. So the LA Clippers at home after facing the Lakers the last 2 years, only 2 occurrences, 2-0 to the over. Let me check the last 4 years. 4-3. All right, let me see as a favorite after facing the Lakers. 6-2 to the over. That's interesting. You know what? The over might be every time I do these type of searches, it's like I'm getting to the core of the fundamental of that query, right? And anytime you do these type of things, you can start with home teams and then work your way to like home favorite, then favorite, just to get the core of the fundamental of the sports betting, right? And to me, let me see the last 5 years. 8-4 to the over, 8-4 straight up, 7-4. Yeah, so I like the over in this one. I like the over in this one here tonight. What's the total at? Total's at 229. We got 224. Kogo's at 65%. So the percentage play does favor the over. In the last 10 head-to-head meetings, 4 and 6 to the under. So maybe a law of average theory tonight. Bounce back to 5 and 5. Yeah, you know what? Over tonight. Clippers, Portland. I do like the over here. I do like the over in this one. And LA Clippers at home against another A-type team. So teams 60% or higher in the standings. They are 7-3 straight up and against the number. And let me take a look here. After a win. The LA Clippers after a win. Yeah, look at that. So the LA Clippers at home after a win. 11-6. 11-6 to the over this year. 5-1 coming off a one-game win streak. So, yeah, I do like the over here tonight, guys. I do like the over tonight. And look at Portland. When Portland's on the road, coming off a win, 10-5. So if you do the combined record, 10-5, and you have a 11-6, so you got 21-11. So that's a pretty good percentage play to the over. All right, deep dive. Earlier in the season, Clippers were a recovery machine, double digits. Should be no problem for them. They play better defense, Trailblazers, so that should be the difference. Yeah, and you know what? Norman Powell now back in Portland. That's and let me see, what's Portland's record the last couple of games since Norman's been there? Let's go back 5 games. 4-1. That could be the piece of the puzzle that helps Portland, right? But hey, you know what? We'll see. 7-3 in their last 10, 10-15. They're playing better basketball, in the last 15 than the Clippers, only by 1 game. 10-5, 9-6. So you know what? The over. I'm still gonna stay with the over tonight. Milwaukee taking on Golden State. Let's take a look at this one here. Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State. Now the line's minus 6.5 for the Bucks. The over/under at 237. 117 to 115 favoring Milwaukee. The Bucks are 7-3 straight up. 3-7 for Golden State. Golden State on a 3-game losing streak, coming off a 117-111 loss. That was a devastating loss for the Warriors. They were in that game. And then Atlanta just flexed their muscles in the last, say, 5 minutes of that game. And, you can see Seth Curry, probably not a lot of fun right now if you're Seth Curry. You look at the, 1-6 in their last 7 games, not having a lot of success. And look at this, NBA road teams that are favorites of 6.5 to 9, and are on 2 days rest, 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the number, 8-2 to the over. So maybe the over here is a nice play. Maybe the over in the Bucks could be a nice play here tonight. I do like the number. And Milwaukee on the road against teams below 500, 8-4 to the over. So, yeah, I do like the over here today. Yeah, I'm going to do baseball really quickly. Again, we're running low on time here. That's what happens when you get 3 leagues going at the same time, right? And I feel like it's a 100-mile-an-hour race. All right, I got some good stats here today. Before I start giving out all the, I'm just going to go through some of the system plays that I researched this morning, and I'm going to give you these guys real quickly. Sound like Elmer Fudd there, real quickly. Hey, that's my double Elmer Fudd there the last couple of days. Let's go to Major League Baseball. All right, so the number one here, the first system I'm going to show you guys, we're going to go with Tampa Bay here as an away favorite. Coming off a 9-run loss. They got woodshed last night. So teams, Major League Baseball teams, coming off an away favorite, coming off a 9-run loss and coming off 3 overs. So the last 3 games for Tampa Bay have gone over the total. And let's do, now was this the last couple of years? Let me see, was this last 2 years? Let me do last 2 years. Or maybe it's more than that. Yeah, 2-1. Maybe it's last 5. Hang on. No, what's going on here? Oh, maybe since 96. Yeah. All right, so since this is a big system here. So Away favorites, road favorites coming off a 9-run loss, and their last 3 games went over the total. They are 10-5 the next game. That's 66% system on the Tampa Bay Rays. So Tampa Bay, one of my plays here today. Home teams. Now this is another system on the under in the Colorado game. I think it's Colorado. Hang on here. Home teams coming off a 7-run win. No, maybe it's not Colorado. Coming off 4 unders. I think it's the Yankee game. Yeah, I think it's the Yankees. All right, so Yankees under today against Baltimore. This is another system. So if you look at this, home teams coming off a 7-run win. Yankees won 7-0. The last 4 games for the Yankees have gone under. Take a look at their record. 11-6 straight up, but 4-12-1 to the under since 1996. So unders, Yankees, another good system. And then the last one here is home favorites. Home favorites coming off a 2-game. Crap. I hate it when I can't read my own writing. Let me see here. This sucks. 3-game losing streak. Okay, 3-game losing streak. Oh, a 2nd game of a series. There we go. All right, so Colorado. Today, Colorado. Let me take a look at the... Colorado today is a favorite against Arizona. So, okay, so home favorites coming off a 3-game losing streak like Colorado. And the 2nd game of a series. Okay, I don't think it's last 3 years, not 96. Last 3 years. $35, 15, and 4 to the over. So Colorado over. Nice system here. So home favorites coming off a 3-game losing streak. 2nd game of a series the last 3 years. 35, 15, and 4 to the over. So let's keep an eye out on those 3 systems for tomorrow. And let's take a quick look at Major League Baseball. I'm going to run down some of these scores here for you guys. All right. So, yeah, Ace, Glasnow, was it Glasnow going for the Rays? Or hang on here. No, yeah, Tyler Glasnow. So I do like Tampa Bay here today. Let me see. No problem. Would you like today in baseball? Rays going. Yankees got to go over at some point. Yeah, but not today. All right, Dodgers against Chris Bassett and the Oakland A's. You know what? Oakland's 0-5 right now. And if they lose this series, they're going to be 0-7. Imagine that. Oakland 0-7. Kershaw going today for the Dodgers on a 4-game win streak. This is going to be a tough one here for Oakland. I like the Dodgers here today. Milwaukee taking on the Chicago Cubs. I'm going to lean with the Brewers here today. In fact, again, if you go to bullpenpicks.com, all my selections are in. So if you go to bullpen picks and you go to most followed and you go to Ron Raymond or Ronnie Ray, go to follow my picks, and then you click on the following, you'll see all my picks are there today. And I got the what do you call it? The confidence level beside it. So I'm going to go with the Brew Crew today. I know Chicago won yesterday, and you got Adbert Alzolea going for the Cubs against Freddie Peralta for the Brew Crew. Milwaukee 1-3 to start the season, a 3-game losing streak, and so I'm going to go with Milwaukee here today. In fact, let me go to bullpenpicks.com. Just a real quick rundown. So Houston, LA, I'm taking the Twinkie. So I'm going to take Minnesota today. I'm going Atlanta. I got the New York Yankees. I got Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Miami against St. Louis. I'm going to play the Mets here. I know Philadelphia is really hot, but I'm going to play the Mets. I'm going to go Brewers, Toronto, Colorado, Dodgers, Padres, Seattle, and my top 3 plays, if you take the highest percentage, is Yankees, San Diego, and the New York Mets. Those are my top ones here today. Yeah, Twinkies. You like that one? I always call them the Twinkies, right? Yeah, so those are my baseball plays today, guys. And again, I gave you those 3 system plays in baseball. What I'm going to try to do, because baseball is so long with the NBA, NHL, and it would take me another hour to really go in depth in baseball because, if you break it down game by game, we'll be here till 1 o'clock, right? And I'm trying to keep these shows under an hour because, people, I don't think they want to listen to me for 2 hours, right? But let me take a real quick look here at the 80% Club before we go. But I gave you those 3 systems. So Tampa Bay, so keep an eye on these systems today. Tampa Bay, we got the under in the Yankee game, and Arizona, Colorado over, right? So Tampa Bay, Yankees under, and Colorado over. Those are 3 system plays that we're going to keep an eye out on today. Let me see if the 80% Club is working yet. I was generating the stats this morning. I don't know if they're... Oh, good, they're here. All right. So Dodgers 10-1 as a 160-180 road favorite, coming off a game where they allowed 3 runs against the last 5 years, 90%. If you like the under in the Braves game today against Washington, the under is 10-1 for Atlanta as they pick 'em to 120 road dog versus an NL conference opponent the last 2 years. So a nice system on the Braves under. Marlins 9-1. So the Miami Marlins are 9-1 as a 120 to 140 home favorite, coming off a 3-run loss the last 10 years. I do like Miami here today, guys. I do like Miami. The Braves 9-1 coming off on the road, coming off a 1-run loss the last 2 years. I do like Atlanta. Atlanta's too good to be 0-4, right? So I do like Atlanta here today. And let me see here. Padres 12-2 as a 180 to 120 favorite in the month of April since 96. So San Diego Padres 12-2 as a 180 to 200 home favorite in the month of April since 1996, 85.7%. And the Tampa Bay Rays 11-2 as a 140 to 160 road favorite, coming off a loss the last 4 years. And I love the Tampa Bay Rays here today. Probably going to be one of my top plays with Tyler Glasnow on the hill. All right, folks, there you have it. That's the Rain Report edition for a Ruby Tuesday. It is April 6th. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show. Hopefully the information was to your liking today on a Ruby Tuesday. And before I go, if there's any comments, I'd love to hear from it. And again, if you're interested in my top plays, my best bets, for only $99 a year, you get my top plays, and that's less than 27 cents a day. And if you're a member of ATSstats.com, you get access to the dashboard. Everything you see on this show, when I give out these shows, everything you see except for the premium picks is you get access to, right? The databases, the stats. Guys, you know what? I'll go out there and say it on the limb. ATS Stats is probably one of the top 5 sports betting stat sites on the net. And when you compare all the tools that we have, I would put it up there with any of the top 5, right? And we all know who they are. All right, there you have it, folks. Have yourself a great rest of your day. And I'm going to go have some lunch now, and hopefully the Rays will win some ball games and bet hockey. Hockey's been really good to me. I don't know why, but hockey the last couple of weeks, man, I think I don't want the season to end. Hey, hockey's been really good. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back here on a Hump Day Wednesday. I'm Ron Raymond. This was the Raymond Report for a Ruby Tuesday, April 6th. Cheers.